So, Stan by Eminem. Like, definitely one of what is happening? Eminem's best songs.
You're not wrong. It is my favourite song.
Yeah,
I think it's his best.
Mm.
Eminem's at his best when he's just rapping.
Yeah.
It's not going fast. Like, Rap God's fast, but it's
Yeah.
not good.
That's just a novelty, I think.
Yeah.
I think he knows that as well. But, like, Stan is so strong with the storytelling.
Yeah, that's what he's best at.
I think, yeah.
Cleaning out my closet.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good ones. But he, like, it's amazing that he's just talking. And he's got, like, multi-syllable rhymings. Rhymes.
Very, very talented songwriter.
Mm. So the track, it starts out with rain, setting the mood. Do you want to finish off those chips so I can bust out a new packet?
No.
Only a few little ones left.
Just put the new packet in there. Get a
You
bit
reckon?
of mixed flavour, yeah.
Alright. I'll jump in your box and just grab the box on top. There's a nice little surprise underneath.
It's like a piece of paper.
It is similar to a bit of paper.
Lemon rosemary.
Yep. Some shapes. We'll give them a run. You reckon they'll go... Oh, I suppose that will go tomato, won't it?
You're not wrong. Where'd that go? Oh, Lord.
Is it a good smell or not really?
Bloody holy. Smells a bit like an armpit. Oh, it doesn't really come out of the...
They're quite,
It's quite packed in there. Jesus.
the flavouring on them is quite dark. I reckon it's real lamb.
Yeah. God, it is dark.
I'm salivating a lot. I don't know if I'm expecting it to be sour or... Oh.
Tastes like beef flavouring noodles.
Yeah, that's spot on.
Like if you got the flavouring out of the sachet, poured it on like a chip, that's what it tastes like.
That is what we're eating.
Alright, carry on
Alright.
with Dido.
Eminem said, after hearing her song, that the lyric, "But your picture on the wall, it reminds me that it's not so bad, was the inspiration for the song. After hearing that, he thought that he could write a song about a fan that takes him too seriously, which is a problem that Eminem faces a lot. I don't remember what song it was. I don't know, but he was just talking about how, like, when kids listen to his music and become violent, that the parents blame his music for that.
It's like all of Eminem's songs.
Yeah, there's one in specific that I'm trying to think of. I can't remember it, but oh well.
It could be The Way I Am.
I think it is. Yeah. And it's also a theory that Stan is short for stalker fan.
I don't know if that's theory. I think that's just fact at this point now. Like,
Well,
I think it's coincidental.
Yeah, I think it is a coincidence, because I don't know if Eminem had that in mind when writing, but his name is like Stanley Mitchell.
Stanley Mitchell? What a funny thing.
The basis of the song is that Stan writes a letter to Eminem, and after not getting a response, he just writes more and more, getting angrier and angrier that Eminem isn't responding, until he eventually snaps. But the reason I want to dissect this track is because of the character development that Eminem gives Stan. I don't think there's another song out there with this level of detail given to the characters in there. The very first thing he says is "Dear Slim," which is a big red flag. Not Eminem, not Marshall. He believes he is Slim Shady, the man known for being reckless, sporadic, and just all around not okay in the head. The first letter starts off with him making excuses as to why he hasn't received a response, because Slim, of course, would have responded to him. There's no way that he wouldn't. It would have to be something else, so he blames literally everything else. The mailroom, him not writing the address properly, literally anything. And then after that, the first thing on his mind is to tell Slim how alike they are, building up common ground, getting Slim to like him. It's quite manipulative, and that's what I was talking about before with the amount of detail given to the characters. This is the first thing on his mind. Mm-hmm. He says that he's about to have a daughter, so they're both going to be fathers, and considering how much Eminem loves his daughter, that's a very strong string to play this manipulative tune on. He then mentions that he'll name his daughter Bonnie after Eminem's song 97 Bonnie and Clyde, and in that song, Slim Shady kills the mother of his child, already hinting towards the fact that Stan is mentally unhinged and foreshadowing the ending of the song. But why would you name your daughter after that?
Bonnie and Clyde.
Like, he literally could have called her Haley or something, but no, he's like, no, I'm going to choose the song where the mother dies. That's quite
That's deep, that is.
yeah. And then, revealing more of his stalker traits, he mentions that he's sorry about Eminem's uncle who committed suicide, Uncle Ronnie, which at that point was not public knowledge. No one knew about it. And then he just moves right back onto, I'm a huge fan. You know, you've probably heard this before. Just showing a complete lack of empathy, bringing up, oh, hey, your uncle's just killed himself, but I'm a big fan of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how normal people operate. So it's really showing just how sort of mentally unhinged he is. Verse 2, for the most part, is a little bit more uneventful. He mentions he's waited 4 hours out in the cold to meet Slim, that he's got a Slim Shady tattoo on his chest.
Oh, with Matthew?
Yep.
With his brother?
Yeah, little Matt. What's the song that's the sequel?
Bad Guy.
Yeah, Bad Guy, that's it. I'll have to do that on my next song dissection.
Oh, that's a good one, actually.
Yeah, his girlfriend is just sick and tired of him constantly talking about Slim. 24/7, he talks about Slim Shady. But then this is where he starts to get angry in this verse. He starts to let her off by saying it's fucked up that he's not getting a response, but then he just falls right back into trying to find a likeness. Hey, my dad was a piece of shit too. He then details that he self-harms just because Eminem's mentally insane alter ego has rapped about it before. And then he ends this letter by saying, we should be together.
We should be together too.
Oh, such a good song. So his obsession with Slim, has gotten so out of hand that he's mistaking it for love. In his blindness, he manages to skip over the fact that Slim Shady is very homophobic. Obviously, Eminem isn't. He's very good friends with Elton John. But Slim Shady is just filled with hate in every direction that he can channel it. He's had multiple homophobic lyrics in the past, but Stan is quite oblivious to it.
Yeah.
He knows every single Slim lyric that he's rapped, but he's choosing to ignore these specific ones. In verse 3, though, Stan has officially snapped. For the first time, he starts his letter off with something other than Dear Slim. He calls him a rather nasty name. He tells Slim that he's drunk and has taken a lot of pills and is now in a car going down a freeway. He's yelling into a cassette tape, not making much sense, sort of babbling on, hope you can't sleep and you dream about it, and when you dream, hope you sleep and you can scream about it. That is a very hard line. It's very contradictory, obviously doesn't make much sense, but I think that really highlights just how crazy he is.
When you sleep, you dream about me.
Mm.
Oh.
And, he's got something else as well. In the Air Tonight, he calls it something else, because he's like slurring his words, showing how drunk he is.
Do you remember that one song by Phil Collins?
In the Air of the Night is what he calls it.
Night?
Yeah.
Where that one guy could have saved that other guy, but didn't?
Yeah, I think it perfectly encapsulates how sort of inebriated and enraged he is. And then you hear a woman screaming, and Stan shouts at her to be quiet. She's in the trunk, and it's his pregnant girlfriend. He then returns to the cassette to let Slim know that he's about to kill her, just like Slim killed his baby's mum. And then for the first time, Stan says, see, I ain't like you. Because he has gone to extra lengths to ensure that his girlfriend suffers more and suffers longer. You then hear the car drive off a bridge, which is a very symbolic thing. Not only is it where Slim Shady disposed of his girlfriend, but in this sense, the bridge is what separates life and death. Like, once you cross that bridge, you can't come back. And I guess you could say that now that Stan has done this, everything is now just water under the bridge. He's solved the problem. Now, obviously, since he was talking into a cassette tape, then drove off a bridge, there's no way that can get to Slim, showing that Stan was not thinking rationally, just another hint that he's not mentally stable. Then the final verse is Eminem replying, not Slim, Eminem. And he says as well, like a couple of weeks ago, I was reading your letter. So just sort of showing that, you know, he is a very busy man, but does still take the time to reply to fans. These aren't grown on me at all, but I'm still eating them. Yeah, he calls out Stan's wild behaviour, saying it's not okay. Specifically the self-harm. He explicitly says that when he raps about it, he's joking. I'm just clowning, dog, how fucked up is you? He mentions that Stan and his girlfriend could benefit if he were to get some counselling. Towards the end of the verse, Eminem is saying, please get some help before it gets worse. I heard the story the other day of someone killing themselves and their pregnant girlfriend, and it makes me sick.
It was you.
That's an absolute bombshell. But yeah, so he's explicitly going out of his way to say, I do not condone this behaviour. That's messed up. And then, yeah, realises it was Stan. The music video as well is its own separate masterpiece. Obviously it's made for the track, but it's a whole nother excellent piece. It starts off with him in his bathroom bleaching his hair blonde, making himself look like Slim Shady. And his girlfriend is knocking on the door saying, let me in, I need to go. But he's not. Bleaching his hair is more important.
It's a true masterpiece.
It really is, yeah.
Really highlights the genius of Eminem.
Yeah. I need to go back to that.
I can never hate on Eminem. He's world class.
Yeah,
like there'll never be another Eminem at this point.
There's a reason why he's like the standard for rapping.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then when he finally lets his girlfriend in, she says, what are you doing, Stanley? Stanley, what are you doing? And he's like, don't call me that. And he's getting quite angry at that.
Stan.
So he wants to be called, Stan or Slim or something else.
Stan Slim.
He mentions in the letters that he's got Slim Shady posters up all on his wall, but that is an under-exaggeration. He has a full wall covered with them. He's got photos of him with his girlfriend, where he's glued photos of Slim over his girlfriend. So it looks like he's with Slim. And that's quite messed up that he's choosing that over her.
Get absolutely wrecked.
I notice as well, whenever there's a TV in the background, there's a music video of Slim Shady playing.
There you go.
Which is a nice little touch.
Song Slim Shady or Eminem?
Just, Eminem, but with blonde hair.
Oh, right.
So, which is pretty much anything from that era. But, yeah, and then in the last verse, when Eminem's writing his response out, there's an alternate scene playing of his brother, and what I can only assume is his mum standing at a grave. At one point, his little brother pulls his hood back and reveals that he has also dyed his hair blonde. Although I assume that's because he wants to be like his big brother, rather than like Slim. And one touch that I really like is right at the end of the track, once Eminem says the classic, damn, it was you. There's a big crack of lightning, and you can see out the window in the background, and Stan is there, haunting him.
I probably did, but...
Yeah. So sticking to his promise of haunting Eminem. So it's a beautiful masterpiece, and yeah, a lot of detail has really been taken in both the song and the music video. The character development of Stan just slowly getting more and more mentally insane, I think, was brilliant. And just the sort of little things to show how manipulative he can be is, I think, yeah, really a testament to Eminem and his GOAT status.
There you go. All right.
So what are you bringing later today?
I'm doing the... What am I doing?
So, what does the rappers spend their money on?
Ah, right. Well, I'm going to do it on... Who should I do it on? I'm going to make it up again. You pick a rapper.
Yeah, all right. I'll just go on my daily mix.
Alright. Do the fourth person.
Fourth person?
Yeah.
Nav.
Alright. Nav. There we go.
Tune in for that later tonight. We'll see you then.
Yep.